let's talk about physical media collections, all different forms of physical media collections, not this one physical media form. But we're just going to talk about DVDs, we're not just going to talk about VHS, we're going to talk about all different forms of physical media in this video, right? I've talked about this before, but never to this degree. I've actually never talked about all different forms of physical media collections. I've talked about physical media formats on my channel multiple times, but never have I ever talked about different forms of collecting. First off, starting off this list with cassette tapes that you could watch, because that's on this list because people actually used to do that. People don't actually buy cassette tapes you could watch anymore, but they still buy VHS, and that's the next thing on this list. But however your collection may be big, right? Yeah. Okay, next up, money equals all, right? You can buy certain tapes, you can buy certain everything. Right, next up, we're going to get to music too, don't worry. Of course, first up is DVDs and shit, film, because I am a film collector. I collect film. I have CDs in my collection, small CD collection, but I do have a CD collection. My boombox here plays CDs. It's also actually a DVD player if you show me. That's another point. Of course, next up is VHS. VHS, right? People still collect them. People have massive collections, but of course, money rules overall, right? Right? They don't make VHS players anymore. They don't. Speaking of things they don't make, laser discs. I've come so close at one point in time to buying a laser disc, buying a whole thing of laser discs, to sell them all for $2 in a crate, and I was like, oh, that's so tempting. But I don't have a laser disc player, so I didn't buy them. I even told them I don't have a laser disc player, but boy, is that tempting. They're all, he's like, there's all in good condition, and there was, right? So yeah, maybe in the future I'll buy some laser discs. Yeah, speaking of things, laser discs go anywhere, from $30 to $40 to about a couple $100 because they're all out of print. They're all out of print. So yeah, if you're buying that format, yeah, Laserdisc was DVD before DVD. But hold on, we're talking about different formats, different value of format. But VHS, was, when it first came out, was about $60 to $80. But DVDs, when it first came out, hasn't changed that much. Like regular DVDs, regular size DVDs are $20, $30, $40 still. But big size DVDs, big box sets, complete box sets cost anywhere from $100 to $200. But okay, but hold on, we're not done. No. We're not done. This video is not done. And I know a lot of people are not going to want to watch this because this is me talking about DVD formats and video formats in general. I talk about other things, and I will talk about other things. I have other video plans. This one is this one where I'm talking about specifically formats. Okay, next up, I'm probably talking about video games too in this because I might. This is a format video, but of course, next up is CD DVD. CD DVD is a format that I had as a kid where it was a DVD, the CD. You didn't have to have a player for it, as far as I know, because you could play it in your fucking DVD player. But kind of like DVD Junior, right? Now, I don't know how much CD DVDs go for. There's variations. There's CD movie that you can play in your computer, but and only in your computer or in its own variation player. But yeah. Okay, the DVD Junior has its own player. It could also play in your own player. I don't know if it can play in new players, but it can play in your own player. So that little bitty spot was for DVD Junior or DVD Now. That's right. But they go anywhere from about $40 to $12 online. $40 to about $12. Some go for a couple hundred, the rare ones, right? There's color and there's non-color versions. I would love to have them as a kid. I want some of them now because some of them are very cool. Yeah. Anyway, let's go into CDs. That's right. We're not done with this format video. We're talking about all different types of formats, all different things about formats, prices, you know. But CDs can go anywhere from online, can go anywhere for a couple $100s. Right? In person, you go to a yard sale, you can buy them for maybe $1 or $2. If you go to a store that sells CDs, it could be anywhere from I think 20 to 30 to maybe 40 to maybe a couple hundred, depending on which one you're looking for. Records are a little bit more, I think, way more, I believe. So yeah. Oh yeah, and then of course we got the RC tapes. The RC tapes are big things from like the 60s, and of course, you know, the only way you could open them up was like basically there's like a giant record. So you had to put them in the machine, boom. But that's right. We're back to movies. This is a movie, right? You put in the thing, it would play it, open it, scan it, and apparently they basically sucked when it comes to filming, but would I buy one? Probably not. Maybe for collector value, but that's about it. You know? If you learned anything in this video, you learned how much stuff used to be, how much stuff does cost, how much stuff you can buy for. But if I had a dime for every time I seen a VHS at a yard sale of like a movie that I'm looking for or something, like, oh, I'm looking for this movie, but not in this format. But when I was a kid, that's how I started out collecting was VHS, right? Because, you know, being born in the early 2000s, VHS was still very much a thing, right? And it's now coming back to for fucking for real, man. It's so surreal to me. It's so crazy, right? That VHS is coming back, right? Old, but DVD's not dying out. No. But, yeah. But yeah, anyway, that is this video. But this video is talking about different prices of different formats. Right? This is a video I know for a fact I haven't done. I've broke down, you know, multiple formats before, like every format. But I've not talked about video games yet. Let's talk about video games, shall we? Starting off with Nintendo. But starting off with the Nintendo system. Nintendo system. The original Nintendo system can cost you anywhere from $4,000. Right? Right? Then of course, we got the Nintendo Switch. Can cost you about $400. Right? Cost you maybe about $50 used. Right? Then of course we got everybody's favorite PlayStation. Right? The PlayStation. Right? About $500, right, in stores. And of course we got it used, goes for about $200, if not more. About $1,000, I'd say more. But then of course we got next up is Xbox. Right? 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 These are the systems. It can go anywhere from about $300 to $400, $500, right? Depending on the system, right? But it has games. These all have games like the, you know, Dark Knight series and, you know, the Marios, and of course you get, you know, the Wii Mario games and stuff like that. But and then of course you get the Dragon Ball game, right? If you're spending anywhere from about $50 to $100 on just one single game the size of a movie, why? Why? The size of a regular film, you know, spend about $200, you'll be bankrupt by the end of the month. That's like GameStop's trying to be, man. I'm just saying, crazy, man, crazy.